this?
Hey, it's Kens, and today I'm going to be telling you about how I applied and got denied from Hooters and how I ended up becoming the worst bartender in the world instead. So basically,
this is how it went.
So this started the summer after my freshman year. I'm going home, I need a job, I have no money,
I'm broke.
and I need some steady income. So I start applying everywhere around my hometown. I'm just like, look, I need a job, what's going on? And like, no one was really hiring. Like, honestly, I don't know what was going on. So for me, the two criteria like for applying for a job is like either someone with like a lot of pay or someone that's gonna be like fun. And so since the ones with like high pay wasn't really working out, I moved on to fun. So I've always wanted to work at Hooters, so I applied to Hooters. And I ended up getting a whole interview and everything. Everything was great. The interview went swell. It was one of my best interviews in my entire life. And honestly, like that was the interview that just was like after I took that interview, I was like, I got the job. I got the job. And that's not how it turned out. So I am the type of person who after I like apply somewhere or have my interview, I do follow-up calls. Like, am I hired or am I not? Let me know what's going on. I ended up calling Hooters like 4 times in the span of 2 weeks. Here's my thing. If I'm not hired, it's okay. Just please let me know so I'm not sitting here just time wasted away. Well, eventually that call came and it turns out that I did not get hired and I was devastated. Yeah. So I'm just like, I was really sad actually. I was just like, what the cuss? And I was talking to my mom and I told her how my interview went and I talked to her and I walked her through how everything was going. And then she told me my mistake. My mistake was that when they asked me like availability, where do I go to school, all that stuff, I was like, oh, I go to school in Houston. And they're like, well, how are you gonna work throughout the year? And I was like, I can't because I go to school in Houston. Like, this is a seasonal job. This is a summer job because I'm in college, obviously. And yeah, you're not supposed to tell them that. You should really convince them that you're there for the long run. And I just didn't do that. So I figured out why I wasn't getting hired places at least. So a few weeks after that, my best friend comes over and she's like, my cousin just got hired. Hired where? Because I need a job. Where the job's at? I need to know where to get hired because I'm trying to get money. And she was like, she just got hired at the bowling alley. So I go to the bowling alley and I'm like, are you guys hiring? And he's like, yeah, are you 18? And I'm like, yes. He's like, well, we need a bartender. I'm like,
Okay. All right, what's up?
so he interviews me on the spot and he gives me the job immediately. And he's like, so when can you start? Immediately. So I started the next day and that is how I became a bartender. Now, I need to tell you how I became the worst bartender. So I don't know much about alcohol. Like I don't drink like that. I don't know the alcohols. And it's like my first day and of course I have a customer. I had a lot of customers and they come in and they're like,
I would like a beer.
oh, okay, cool. What kind of beer?
I would like a Budweiser.
We didn't have the cool machines. We had like actual bottles and I didn't know what the beer looked like. So I'm looking in the fridge like, Budweiser, like, it took me like 2 minutes to find a drink that was right in front of me. He was looking at me like I was stupid because I was. So I give him the drink, there's that. I'm just like learning, but I'm learning very slowly, I guess. Don't even get me started on mixed drinks like rum and Coke. I know that sounds like 2 ingredients. That's because it is. But my dumb self, it just didn't click. So the first rum and Coke that I got, I was like, you know what, sir? I will bring it out to you as soon as I finish because a normal bartender would just make it in 0.5 seconds and give it to you right there. It took me about 10 minutes because I had to go online, look up how to make a rum and Coke. I had to flip through the bartending books. And then there it was, rum and Coke, 2 ingredients, that was it. I wasn't good at making drinks. On top of all of this, I have a boss, obviously, and she is one of those types that, like, she doesn't come in every day. Like, she comes in every once in a while, just kind of see how things are going. But honestly, she was kind of rude and a little stank. I was not feeling her energy at all. And she always got on to me for stuff, and I just wasn't, like, there was no reason for you to get on to me. Or if you were gonna get on to me, get on to my coworkers too, because it wasn't just me doing whatever was said. Yeah. One day, she's just really on my arse. And I was just like, I wasn't having it. She was trying to get me to do all this stuff and all these chores. Like, yes, I get it. When you have a job and your boss tells you to do some things, you should probably do them. But these were just off the wall stuff. And she was just telling me to do all these off the wall things. And I was like, ooh, that is not in my job description. Like, I don't. So yeah, like, she was really just getting in on me, man. I was not having it. Example, she wanted me to clean the gutters. Not the bowling alley gutters, the whole establishment gutters. I was like, oh, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. And it was a lot of stuff on top of that. It was a lot of stuff. Like, she wanted me to go clog the toilet. Someone busted that thing up, like, earlier that day. And I was like, I don't know. Because she was really looking at me like,
Hey, maid, I see you got on your maid outfit like you always do.
and I told her right then and there, I'm sorry. I quit. Effective immediately. And I grabbed my purse and I just left. I couldn't do it. So then I'm just sitting outside of the bowling alley, and my coworker comes out and she's like, Kenzie, I think our boss is racist. And I was like, what makes you say that? And she was like, she just said that she would never hire a black person again. So you're telling me that you're not gonna hire a black person because I didn't want to clean up your dirty work? Like, ma'am, please don't let that dictate the race that you hire from. I felt kind of bad, but honestly, forget her. Then I think that the reason that I was just so, like, ready to quit was because I forgot to mention I got a whole second job while I was working as a bartender. Like, I went from not being able to get a job at all to having 2 jobs. So I ended up working at McDonald's, and I told them, I was like, look, I live here. I love this place. I will be here every day for the rest of my life. And I got hired on the spot. And I would work for McDonald's from like 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then the bowling alley from 5 p.m. to midnight. And so I think that was the reason why I was just like, look, deuces, because I had a whole nother place where I could get my monies. So yeah, that pretty much sums up how I applied and got denied from Hooters, how I became the worst bartender in the world, and yeah. So, moral of the story is that if you're going to apply somewhere as a college student, just tell them that you are ready to spend the rest of your life at this job, that you have been only going to college because you wanted to get this fast food or retail job right now, and you will get hired on the spot. Also, try not to get hired at a place with a racist boss. I know that's kind of hard to sniff out, but you're just going to have to gauge it, okay? I know it's difficult. But yeah, okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you like this story time, let me know so I can hopefully bring up more tragic tales from my life. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.